This is the FM Gold channel of All India Radio. In the program News Analysis, now we bring you a discussion on development projects in Varanasi. The participants are Ashok Tandon, political analyst, and Deepak Kumar Das, journalist.
Today, Prime Minister visited Varanasi, his own constituency. Nitin Gadkari and Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh was present there. And we saw a number of projects completed today and became operational. Whether it is the first multimodal hub that became operational after the country's independence, and Prime Minister actually received a container carrying almost 16 truckload of food and beverage items. He also inaugurated a new road, which is completely a seamless road from Varanasi to the airport. In a way, many people say that every time Prime Minister goes to his constituency, he brings a lot of gifts. How do you look at it? Because he says, I am the Pradhan Sevak, the servant of people.
It's fact that today was a historic day for people of Varanasi and the city of Varanasi. Varanasi, as we know, has a special place in the Indian culture, and the city has been neglected for long, and the situation has been deteriorating in Varanasi as well as in Ganga river, and somebody had to take up the challenge. Since the Prime Minister picked up Varanasi as his parliamentary constituency, no, he was duty bound to do something. Now, to say that Prime Minister as a member of Lok Sabha from Varanasi is doing something for his constituency should not be treated or considered as gifts. It's his duty he is performing. And normally, otherwise people say, what has he done for his constituency? And particularly when we talk of Varanasi, Varanasi deserves all these things. In fact, it is already late in the day for any government to do developmental work in Varanasi. As the Prime Minister in his speech very rightly said, that now Varanasi is well connected by air, in waterways as well as by road. So all the projects connecting Varanasi Ring Road, 34-kilometer national highway, and then multimodal terminal on River Ganga for transportation of goods. Today, as you said, he received a container that sailed from Calcutta. Earlier, a cruise for tourists was also inaugurated in Varanasi. So, it's just an example that Prime Minister's constituency is now on the way to progress. But if you look around, particularly in the infrastructure sector, roads are being built everywhere. Even multimodal hubs are built in Jharkhand and West Bengal. So it's not that Varanasi is being given any preferential treatment. The whole country is now witnessing development as well as national highways are concerned, inland waterways are concerned. So in that context, one thing very significant which the Prime Minister said in his speech was that he had promised in 2014 that he would take up those projects or lay the foundation stone of only those projects which would be completed during his tenure as the Prime Minister. And today was the accomplishment. Today he accomplished. Mr. Nitin Gadkari has maintained the deadline and proved that things can be done within a time frame. This is exactly what the Prime Minister wanted. So I think doing developmental work for Member of Parliament's own constituency, I think it should be a feather in the cap rather than saying he is doling out gifts, etc. Because he is committed to doing development for the entire country.
The point of why I actually raised that issue primarily because one day he actually inaugurated projects worth 2,500 crore. As you said, it's also right that because he represents his constituency, it is also his duty bound to do it. We also saw how Nitin Gadkari reiterated again that Ganga will be clean by 80% by the time we go for election. How do you see this as a challenge?
Clean Ganga is a challenge. There is no doubt about it because in the last 70 years since independence, River Ganga has been neglected. Things have gone from bad to worse just because certain cities, particularly on the River Ganga, have been polluting the river. And that substance which pollutes the river has to be stopped. And a beginning has been made today in Varanasi. A number of series of projects were launched today where at least the pollutant will not enter or be thrown into River Ganga. Similar steps are being taken in Kanpur and other cities also because people still don't believe that Ganga can be cleaned. So therefore is a real challenge which Gadkari has accepted. Even Prime Minister Narendra Modi also believes, and the beginning was made today in Varanasi that we witnessed. So I think clean Ganga and a viral Ganga as we call it is a challenge which this government has accepted, and we do hope that with the cooperation of the people. Because I personally feel that who has been polluting these rivers in India? We, the people of India, have been polluting. Industrial waste, etc. So it has to be stopped. So you can't do everything by legislation or by government orders. So people also have to cooperate. So if people cooperate in cleaning Ganga in Varanasi, I think it can be in good condition. Otherwise, if there is no cooperation from the people, things would be really very difficult. Dead bodies are still being thrown into Ganga in Varanasi. People will have to change their mindset. So I think a good beginning has been made today in Varanasi, where polluting substances will not be thrown into Ganga henceforth.
Prime Minister also blamed earlier government, saying that it is a criminal neglect of our rivers, which were once used as the trade routes. And today actually he said, by making this entire stretch from Varanasi to Haldia as a complete waterway which can be used for transporting passengers, goods, cargo and everything, that will open up a new era of development, because items produced from Varanasi and the other parts of eastern Uttar Pradesh, he particularly talked about fertilizer, food grain, even vegetables and also textile items. He said that this could be directly transported from that part through the river. So how do we look at Ganga is already a way of life, but also making Ganga a way of improving our trade business? Is that not going to be a challenge? One of opportunity is fine, today starting the container terminal is fine. But how do we make this a completely commercial viable project?
See, we all know Eastern UP is a backward region in the country, and there are hardly any big industries. But whatever the cottage industry this belt has, particularly Badoi, etc., where carpets are woven, if these carpets can be exported through waterways from Varanasi to Kolkata and from there by ship to other countries, obviously the price will be competitive and exports will increase. So similar other things can also be exported to other countries. So basically inland waterway is a gateway to the Bay of Bengal. And once the goods reach Bay of Bengal, from there they can be loaded into bigger ships and exported to other parts of the world. So I think, as Mr. Gadkari often says, that by transporting things through water is the cheapest means. So if your cost is reduced, obviously the profit margin will also increase. So therefore waterways has to be made a lifeline. And today a beginning has been made. More and more waterways in the country would be used. As it is, 108 rivers have been declared as inland waterways. So I think India needs to promote its goods traffic on water, and that will help India grow, particularly as far as exports are concerned. So to that extent, Varanasi can be developed as a major hub for exports from that part of the country which is underdeveloped.
PM also said that this waterway is the next generation infrastructure transport network. We all know how our rivers have been neglected, but is that not going to be a big challenge? Because we see this Inland Waterway Authority came into existence long back, but the first proper waterway that we can actually see happening now, and to make it completely operational with adequate depth of water so that vessel can run throughout the year, it will still take some time.
Certainly. See, you need dredging, you need that kind of specialized vessels, and also the mindset of the traders. So traders still don't have faith that their goods can be transported through water. So we have to change their mindset, and that all will happen if proper beginning is made. So we need to have proper terminals, like the terminal which was inaugurated today. There may be more terminals on the way to Kolkata, and then you need that kind of vessels. Proper dredging needs to be done. Lot of silt comes into these rivers, and all these things, I agree with you. So far, not much has been done on this front of promoting and developing India's inland waterways, but that is the need of the hour, that is the future, and that will save lot of fuel, lot of traffic on roads, accidents will come down, because India still has huge truck traffic, because people believe that the road are the better way of transporting goods, and that is why there are huge traffic, pollution as well as accidents. So if we can reduce the pressure on the Indian road and shift the transport to inland waterways, from there even our ports can also be developed and rivers can be linked to the port, I think it will be a game changer.
But the question comes, what Prime Minister also said, that by transporting those 16 truckload items through the container, the company must have saved about 70,000 to 75,000 rupees. That's a huge attraction for any company to do it. But maybe then we have the challenge, it's not like end-to-end operation, because if you need to load it from one place, then you actually bring it down, then you have to again have a separate network. That will take some time. How do you see that challenge you are going to meet?
You need to have coordination between the rail network, the road network and the inland waterway network. There has to be a coordinated effort because people still don't have confidence that waterways would be a better mode of transport. So that has to be changed and it will take some time. You can't do it overnight. But you have to make a beginning somewhere, and beginning has been made today. And Ganga river, which flows almost to 6-7 states in the country. So all those multimodal hubs can be developed as terminals. From there the goods can be loaded and offloaded, and you can have industry along those terminals. Also you have cold storage, go downs, all those. It will be a diversification of our industrial belt also. It will take some time, there is no doubt about it, but I think a beginning has been made, and that too the holy city of Varanasi, if it can be developed and as a multimodal hub for transport, it is already tourist attraction. Many foreign tourists come. For them, a cruise has been arranged. There will be more and more cruise in Varanasi, from Varanasi to Kolkata, Allahabad, and coming Kumbh also, waterway can be used for transporting pilgrims.
It seems that Prime Minister is trying to send a message. It is not just about the sentiments or the emotion. He is actually delivering it on the ground.
See, you have to, if you choose any constituency, and as an elected member from that constituency, you have to deliver, you have to show. That's why there is MP-led fund. But that is not enough for any member of parliament to develop his constituency. But there is no dearth of funds as far as I think these development projects are concerned. Only thing is you need to have will to do that. And Prime Minister is now setting an example by promoting and developing his constituency in whatever possible manner he can do it. And I think the message will go down to other members of parliament to develop their constituencies as well. Otherwise, when you say that we have been elected on the promise of development and our main plan for the next election is development, so development has to be seen on the ground as well. So unless the development is visible to the people, they won't trust you again. So that is why Prime Minister's narrative that I will lay the foundation stone of only those projects which he would be inaugurating also, dedicating to the nation also. In that series, I think he has already done a number of projects around Delhi and now in Varanasi. So I think this is a very good message to all elected representatives and the governments also, including state government, that they should not be doing only false promises or laying the foundation stone and then ignoring those projects.
We also saw how Mr. Gadkari and Prime Minister both said that when they first time talked about how the entire Ganga can be developed as a waterway. But then the question comes, is it actually an achievement or rather we are facing a bigger challenge?
See, once you start any project, obviously, apart from the challenge, there is an opportunity. Why can't inland waterways be developed into a national project? There is nothing to stop it. But the only thing is that you have to make a beginning. I think the transport system can start from Allahabad also, it can start from Kanpur also and other areas along the river. I think one multimodal hub is coming up in Sahibganj in Jharkhand. So it's not only question of developing Ganga as inland waterways. We have 108 rivers have already been notified by the parliament as inland waterways. But they need to be developed accordingly, and also depending upon the weather condition in those states and rivers and their proximity to our ports also has to be seen. So port, rail and inland waterway. This connectivity and also of course air has to be promoted in a big way if India is to develop as a big power by 2020 or so.
Thank you, Mr. Tandon.
Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on development projects in Varanasi. The participants were Ashok Tandon, political analyst, and Deepak Kumar Dash, journalist. The program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. This program is also available on our website, newsonair.nic.in. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsttalks@gmail.com.